That's good. You're doing it though. How about kick-ups? Who started any kick-ups? I haven't seen any video. I don't think I've seen any kick-up videos yet.
I'm on to 500.
James on 500. Make sure you send some videos through if you're doing some kick-ups. Go on, Nate.
I'm at 1,500.
You're on 1,500.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Jamie, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't say.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, it says you're muted, Harry, but we can hear you, Harris. Don't worry.
Is Corey in his pajamas?
Yeah. He's all in his pajamas. I'm gonna phone Joel. Okay. Talk to each other for a second. I'm gonna phone Joel quickly. Okay.
My brother lost his tooth because the reason it got wobbly is because he bit into a really hard carrot. And then I just rugby tackled him, so it just bounced out onto the floor.
So you knocked your brother's tooth out?
Technically, yeah.
Very nice.
I accidentally punched him, so it just bounced out.
And my friend said I knocked his tooth out by chucking a pillow at him.
A pillow?
Yeah, a pillow. The pillow just hit his face and he said I knocked his tooth out.
You can't knock somebody's tooth out with a pillow. It's like the softest thing in the world.
I know.
Right, who was it?
Zach. And he's been sticking to the yarn ever since. I knocked his tooth out with a pillow.
Right, boys, listen. So
I banged my tooth on the I banged my tooth on the wood, Harris. You distract. Sorry, James.
Bad, Zach.
Right, guys, listen up. So Joel's just going to be on in a minute. So I'm going to make a start, right? So what I want you to do, right? We're going to do a session today. I did this with the under 12s. So I just want to see how your brains think quickly. So I want you can either use an iPad or a phone for like notes. But what will be easier is run and get like a piece of paper and like a pen or a pencil. Yeah, go.
Back in the
So you can use a notepad or a piece of paper, a pen, a pencil. I'm going to basically give you scenarios. I want you to write what you would do in those scenarios, basically. But there's no right or wrong answer, so it's not like a test or anything, yeah? So, yeah, it's not a test, okay? It's not a test. I just want you to kind of do something different. Right, so let's wait for Harris 1 sec. Guys, on three, right? Let's all call Harris. Are you ready? 1. Unmute yourselves. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Harris.
Harris, mate.
There he is.
We're all off key, like that was just rubbish.
Right, listen. So
I can
listen.
see why we're not singers.
Right, listen up. So it's not a test, okay? It's not a test, but I want to see you. Now, the session today, I want you to think like coaches. So I want you to try and think like a coach today. So I want you to, oh, Joel's coming in now, 1 second. So as a coach, I want you to think, if you was the coach of your team, so if you're the coach of your under 10s team and your team is winning 1-0 with 5 minutes to go in a cup game. So imagine you're winning 1-0. There's 5 minutes to go in a cup game. As a manager, what would you do to make sure that you're going to still win and go through? Write it down. Go. And if you don't know or you haven't got a right or wrong answer, that's fine. Yeah, I just want to see how your brains are thinking. Can you hear us, Jay? Yeah. You can keep. Jay, if you unmute yourself, keep yourself unmuted, man. That's fine. Them not unmuted. Yeah, man. So, yeah, scenario 1, you're winning in a cup game. So remember, you're thinking like coaches of your under 10s right now. Okay, has everyone done that? Just give me a thumbs up if you've done that one. Yeah, wicked. Now, Imagine you are the coach of the under-10s and you are losing 2-0 in a cup game with 15 minutes to go. So halfway through the second half, you're losing 2-0, and if you lose, you're out. Write down, what would you do as a coach to try and get back in the game? Go. I'm going to give you 4 scenarios today, and then Coach Joel is going to do his bit, yeah? Yeah, Jay?
What was the question?
So remember, the first one was if you're losing 1-0, what would you do with 5 minutes to go? What would you do to get back in the game? And the second one is if you're winning 1-0, what would you do to get through? And then the second one is if you're losing 2-0, but there's 15 minutes left. What would you do as a coach to try and get you back into the game? So the first one you're winning, the second one you're losing. The third scenario, a player comes to you. Okay, I'm not going to pick on anyone. Let's just pick somebody, right? I'm going to use Logan. So imagine you're the coach and Logan comes to you and Logan says, oh, but Coach Charlie or Coach Nate, Coach James, Zach, whatever, you're putting me in this position, but I don't want to go in that position. What would you do as a coach? So have a think. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer.
Amy, what did you say? You just froze.
Okay, so imagine you're the coach and imagine that Logan gets put in a position that he doesn't like. So he comes to you and he says, but Coach James, I don't want to be in that position. What would you do as a coach? And telling him to get on a bus and go home is not the correct answer. Yeah, we all good?
Wait.
That's all right, take your time.
Finish.
Everyone good? Give me a thumbs if you're good to go. Last one. Wicked. Last one. You are playing a match. You're the coach, and I keep saying that, but you're the coach. And 10 minutes into the game, one of your players is having a really bad game. So maybe they're not completing their passes. They don't look like they can be bothered. They're basically just playing a bit rubbish. But it doesn't mean they're a rubbish player. It just means they're playing a bit rubbish. What would you do to help that player? So imagine you're a coach. One of your teammates having a bit of a bad game. How would you coach that? Remember, you're not coaches. You're only young, so you don't have to know the answer. But I just want to see what you would say. Just to give you a tip, booing him is the wrong answer. Harris is hardcore. Harris, can I tell them what you wrote? Harris said he would sub them off. Right.
Can I do what I wrote?
All right, we're going to go through everyone now, yeah? Ready? So has everyone done it? So, Charlie, for answer 1, which is you're winning 1-0 with 5 minutes to go in a cup game and you want to ensure you win, what would you do, Charlie?
Just to be safe, focus on defense.
Perfect, okay. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer, I don't think. I'll go through everyone. James, what did you put?
I would make everyone defend.
Okay. Nate?
I would ask the left and right wingers to hold back.
Okay.
And be a lot more defensive and
Okay.
leave the striker to attack.
Wicked. Zach, what would you do?
Go defensive.
Go defensive, yeah? Okay. Logan?
Yeah, we can hear you, Zach.
I just boot the ball off every time we get the ball.
So you would time waste?
Yeah, basically that's what
Have you been watching Juventus?
No.
Harris, what would you
no,
do?
you've been watching Arsenal. You've been watching Arsenal. Time wasting 5 minutes to go.
Harris, what would you do?
I would play defensive, and I'd put the left wing and right wing into left wing back and right wing back.
Okay. Coach Joel, what would you do?
To be honest, I would go with Nate and Harris's suggestion. I like that answer because not only did you say what what you would do, but how you'd also do it. It's also it's always important the how for me. So
Yeah.
Well done. Nate was specific about leaving a striker up, so you can't neglect attacking because you don't want to invite the pressure onto you. So you still got to have that attacking threat. So brilliant answers, boys.
Oh, I was wrong.
No one was wrong. You all said go more defensive. Okay.
Exactly.
This is a better one because now you can't just say, oh, I'd attack more. You can't say that. So now you're losing 2-0 in the cup. 15 minutes to go. So it's not 5 minutes, it's 15 minutes to go. But you want to get back in the game so you don't get knocked out. Again, Charlie, what would you do?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine. That's all right, don't worry.
He wrote something.
Go on. Did you write something, Charlie? Did you say something, Charlie? Right, James, you go.
I would do the 2-1-3 formation so we can mostly be attacking.
Okay, so you go more attacking in your formation.
Yeah.
Okay. Nate.
I'm not too sure, but I would kind of give them like confidence and tell them to be aggressive on the ball.
Okay. Love that. I love your little brains, man. It's so good. Zach, what would you do?
Your brains are so good.
I go with really I'd go have more attacking this never mind.
So would you tell players to kind of go forward more?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Wicked. Logan, what would you do you think?
I'd throw everybody forward apart from the defenders, so I'd throw most people forward.
So you do like the complete opposite of the last one where we left the striker forward and everyone back. You'd flip it and you'd kind of leave someone back.
I would leave like 2 players back and let the wing back the left backs go up as well, and I would just make
I would
them
not
push.
put the 2 people who are back.
Okay. How about you, Harris? You're making me dizzy, Harris. You're moving around lots. What would you do, Harris?
I'd probably
What?
play 4-3-1-2, and I'd substitute the CAM
Okay.
for another striker, so it'd be a bit like 3 striker.
Okay, so again, you changed the formation, is that right?
Yes.
Wicked. So what would you do?
Well, I like the point that Harris has brought up again. Harris has not only looked at his formation, but also looked at what he could add to what's already on the pitch. Now, what you got to remember, boys, is in football, we all have different qualities and we bring different qualities as a unit to the team, right? That's the most important thing. So there could be somebody who's more suited to play in this sort of situation. You've got a fast winger that can get you plenty of crosses. So yeah, my formation would definitely change from a more defensive formation to a more offensive formation without neglecting again, your defense, because you can't just go gang ho and sort of attack and concede more goals. So I like Harris's idea very much. I would definitely look to the bench and see who could improve or add to what's already on the pitch.
Okay. So if I'm right in saying it was all of them were right, am I right in saying that Harris and James both said formation? Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
Yeah, wicked. I love that. So all the answers are correct, but if I was to have like top answers, they're up there, right? Here's one thing I want to say to you quickly though. What can you do in under 10s? What rule isn't in place yet in under 10s that will be in under 11s?
Offside?
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So if you can't be offside and you need a goal, what can you do? You can leave. You can leave some players way up there. So you can say, for example, James, Charlie, go stand in front of the goalkeeper, whatever. Do you know what I mean? You can use that, yeah? Right. Scenario 3. My brain's gone blank. What was scenario 3? Remind me. Go on, Nate.
If the player was like, if they didn't want to play in that position.
Love that. Well done. Love that. Thank you. So, because I was listening to your answers, my brain went blank. So let's go with Zach first, because he's first on my screen. So Zach, what would you do if a player you put in a position comes to you and says, you want to put me in that position, but I don't play that position? What would you do?
Encourage him and get on. Encourage him to get on and do it.
Yeah, love that. So encourage them and support them to do that. Yeah.
Zach, what would be an example of you encouraging? How would you encourage them to play in that position? Considering that if some of you have had that conversation
And
with me.
how you encourage me to get on when I don't want to play, like you know.
Defense.
Yeah.
James, what would you do? Oh, sorry, Joel. Go on. Sorry.
No. Yeah. No. That's a. Yeah.
Go on, James. What would you do?
I would put him in his natural position.
So you would listen to them, and so you okay? Now listen.
Yeah.
First, before I ask this question, remember
I
this.
mean, I'm gonna make my players happy because then they'll perform better.
That's true. What happens? Okay, so I agree with that, and I think that's actually a correct answer. However, here's my scenario for you, because this happens as a coach. Okay, and I promise you, Joel will tell you this happens. So James is the coach right now. What do you do if Zach, Nate, Logan, and Harris all come to you and say, yeah, I don't want to play in that position today?
I will stop them and tell them to go home.
See, it's harder than we think. We've done. You'll be
I would
amazed.
just say, get in your car and go home.
Bear that in mind then. So if you get put in a position and you don't like it, Joel can tell you to get in the car. Is that what you're telling me?
This is why I'm not a coach. This is why I'm not a coach. I'm a player.
Go on, Nate.
I'm just a funny guy. So it's not that.
I'd kind of ask them why, and I'd give them 5 minutes and see how they get on. And if they're doing badly, I'll move them. And if they're doing well, I'll let them stay there.
Love that. Love that. I'll come back
What
to
if
you.
they all play in the same position though?
I'll come back to that in a second, Nate. Logan, hope you're not out of breath. What would you do? Don't.
I would
helium. I want you to be on helium. I want you to be like, what I would do, yeah. Not helium.
I would I would tell him he has to play in that position because there's nobody else to play it.
Must be stern and say, get in
Right.
that position or else I'll kill you.
And what if there was someone else to play it, but you just wanted them to play there? So what if, for example, I'm just going to give an example, right? And it's not a test, I promise, okay? So what if you play in centre midfield, okay? And there's loads of defenders, but Joel says to you, I really like the way you tackle, and this is going to be a physical game, so I want you to go centre back, but you don't want to go centre back. How do you think you would want Joel to tell you how to go?
If that happened, if there was nobody else to play, then maybe you have to put your centre mid and centre back. But if you have like a lot of other options for centre back, you probably wouldn't put your first choice centre mid in centre back because they've never really played that. Where that's where people who have loads of injuries, like Liverpool, aren't doing so well because they have to put like the centre mid and centre back, and they don't really want that to happen because their job is mostly to go up and down the pitch, not defend.
Yeah, no, I get that. I love that. Go on, Harris. Thank you, Logan.
I challenge James. I would tell them that it was to see how you'd perform in that position.
You would challenge me.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Bring it on.
Joel, what would you do in that scenario? What do you do in that scenario? Because I'm sure you've been there before.
It's exactly like how Zach said. I'll find a way to motivate you in order to for you to understand the greater good of the team. So everybody wants to be the Ronaldo in the team. Everybody wants to, have, be
I'm already the Ronaldo.
the most
of team.
attacking or whatever, which is
I'm
fair.
already the
We've
Ronaldo.
all been there. But
Yeah.
sometimes what we have to understand is there's something greater that needs to happen for the good of the team and for the good of your teammates. And other time, there've been times when you haven't played in a position that you want, but you've had an outstanding game. I'm sure Nate likes to attack from the right hand side and not from the left hand side. But sometimes the match may dictate where you play, or the team may dictate where you play. But I would say you boys have accepted the challenges that I've put your way really well. So, like Coach Jamie and I have said, at this age, it's all about exploring all the positions that you can play. Because right now, you may think you're a great winger, but you may end up playing left back further on in your career, or striker or whatever. So it's all about, getting them as much experience as you can from all the positions right now.
I agree. You right, Charlie?
Yeah.
Why'd you mute me, Jamie?
Just because we can hear you in the stuff in the background, so it was kind of blocking Joe a little bit. So unmute.
Oh, sorry.
So just it's all right. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. Just unmute it when we call you and stuff. Charlie, did you have an answer for number 3? The one that said. So the one that said, what would you do if a player you put in his position said he don't want to go in that position?
I would tell them that they.
Sorry, you would tell them what? Sorry.
I would tell them that they had to.
Okay, fair enough. So would you tell them, or would you explain to them? Which one?
Explain to them.
Love that. Yeah, again, all right answers. Exactly like what Joel was saying. Yeah, explain to the person, let them know. Logan, I'm sorry, I'm going to say loads of names. Nate, and the reason I say I'm going to come back to Nate is because even though they were all correct answers, do you know what Nate said? He would try it for 5 minutes. Just to see how it goes. Just to see how it goes. Remember, a coach is there to try and make you win as well, okay? So if he says to Harris, I need you to go up front, it's not because he's thinking, oh, let's have a laugh and see what Harris does. It's because he's thinking Harris has got the strengths to do certain things. Does that make sense? So when you get put in a position, sometimes it's because there's not enough players or injuries or whatever, but you guys have got a big squad. So generally that's not a problem. But it's normally, you just got to understand that the coach will always make decisions to help the team, yeah? He'll never put you somewhere that you don't think you can kind of do it, if I'm honest. Yeah? The final one, for me, this is the hardest one. So, remember, you are a coach of the under-10s, and one of your players is having a shocker. He's having a bad game. None of his passes are completing. He's not being able to win his tackles. He's knackered, running everywhere. He just looks basically lost. What would you do? Now, imagine you have to picture it. You're standing on the side of the pitch and you're watching. What would you do, Zach? You're first.
I'm not really too sure about this one. This one is quite tricky.
It is hard. No, that's fine. It is hard. Yeah. Like I said, it's not a test. It's not homework.
Give it a go, Zach. What would you do? There's no right or wrong answers per se. It's just to feel out where you are.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. I'm going to ask James and then come back to you, yeah? But not because it's a test. It's not a test, yeah? So, James, go. You've got to unmute yourself, James.
I would sub him and then ask him what's wrong and see if I can help him. And then after about 5 or 6 minutes, I would put him back on and see how he does.
Amazing. Love that.
That's an excellent answer, James. Well done, buddy.
Yes.
Zach, do you want me to come back to you one more time in a minute?
Well, wait, do you want me to?
No, you can do it. If you're ready, you can do it now. But if not, then I'll come back.
I'd support him, same as James.
Yes.
So you'd support the player, yeah? You'd like encourage them. So would you leave them on or take them off, Zach?
Yeah, I'd probably take them off and literally as James.
Okay. Nate, what would you do? Thank you, Zach.
I'd take them off for like a breather, and then I'd give them a confident boost, and then I'd put them back on and see how they get along.
Nate, are you a manager secretly?
No.
Go on, Logan. If you've got any breath left.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I'm joking. Don't worry.
I would take him off and then see what was wrong and then put him back on in the same in like maybe a different position.
Okay.
Or maybe put him in the same position. I don't know.
Okay. Harris.
I would probably sub him, and I'd probably keep him off for half of the match.
Oh.
15 minutes.
Okay. Why would you do that? What's the reason for that?
Because he'd probably be tired.
After 5 minutes, yeah? Okay. There's not a right or wrong answer. I'm just trying to get a gauge of your understanding, that's all.
If he was playing right, he probably had like a bad night or something.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, mate. How about you, Charlie?
I would sub him off and then I would ask him what's wrong and why you're like tired. And then like maybe when he subs we can like do some passing just to like get his confidence up with like the game.
Yep. Okay. Love that. Yeah, so put in practical encouragement, yeah?
I agree with Charlie.
Who said that?
Me.
Who's me? That's not helping me.
Harris.
Oh, thank you, Harris. Sorry, it wasn't coming up, that's why. Joe, what would you do?
To be fair, I don't think I would sub him off straight away. I'm a big believer in motivating. So I'd first try to motivate him as best as I could on the pitch. Like many of you, maybe give him 5-10 minutes, then bring him off. Let him calm down a bit, then have a chat with him, and then try to get him on as quick as I can, because playing football is only going to give you more confidence. So yeah, all of you have had the right answers so far. I'm proud of you guys. Well done.
Do you know what? I love that, right? Guys, listen, I really like that. And do you know why I like it? Because you're thinking like coaches. Yeah. Do you know what my concern is? I'll be honest. I mean, every game's different, but I think personally what I would do is I would probably keep you on for 5 more minutes and just encourage you verbally from the side. So I'd probably say your name a lot more. Come on, come on this person, come on that person. My worry is if you remember when you're on the pitch and you're a player, time seems so much quicker. So now I want you to think like a player. Now imagine imagine me and Joel are the coaches and you are that player. And we're only 5 minutes into the game, but it feels like 2 minutes because when you're playing, it feels quicker. Yeah, and I know that's a fact because when we take some people off, even after 15 minutes, they go, I've only just gone on. Yeah, so imagine you feel like you've only been on for 2 minutes. How would you feel if you got taken off after what felt like 2 minutes?
Horrified.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. I promise you. Like I said, every coach has different styles. But I personally, like Joel said, I personally would give you another 5 minutes or so, but really encourage for that 5 minutes. So I'd almost manage you for 5 minutes. Yeah, but I do worry. Can I just be honest with you right now? So there are what? 1, 2, 3. There's 5 of you on. And I can tell you that all of my under 12s gave the same answer, that they would take people off. Yeah, so it's just a gauge and understanding, boys. There's no right or wrong answer. I promise you that. Yeah, so thank you for doing that. Yeah, I really like that. Jay, did you want to do anything for the last 5?
Yeah, just to carry on in the same wavelength, boys. But just in winning and losing, we can sort of never lose the way we play within ourselves, or the principles that we play with in our club, because it is our club. We're all involved in it, right? So I want you guys to take pride when you're winning or when you're losing or when you're drawing. The main thing for me, with a lot of you, I explained to you, attitude is a big thing for me. So we've got to encourage each other through the good times, and we've got to encourage each other through the bad times, right? And a lot of the time when Coach Jamie and I, or Coach Nat, or all the other coaches are making decisions, we're not making decisions for us. Sometimes it's not even decisions for you individually, but it's collectively for the team. So as long as you guys understand that when you're winning, you know, you have to have a good attitude. And when you're losing, you have to have an even better attitude, right? Because there's been so many times when we've been losing, and because of your good attitude, we've got something out of the game, right? And we really have to work on that and keep going as a team. I hope you all agree with that, right? I never want to see you guys' heads, you know, dropping because we're 3-0 down, because just like as they scored three goals, we can come back and score 3 goals as well. Does everybody agree? Yeah.
What about with 5 minutes to go?
We still got to go. I don't care if there's 10 seconds to go. We still got to play the first down way. We still got to, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. We've still got to give the same respect as we give when we were winning at minute 90, the same at minute 1 or minute 45, whatever it may be. We've got to just play the way we've got to keep playing. Yeah.
Right.
And that is, I'm not sort of willing to compromise on that, because I want you guys to be happy, even when, you know, even of course it's hard to be happy when you've lost, but I want you guys to be humble in your wins, and also, you know, when you've lost, to give it up to the team that's beaten you. Yeah, you beat us today, but we can beat you next time. Is that fair, guys?
Yeah.
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 Fantastic.
Wicked. Guys, that was a good session. I love thinking I love kind of seeing how your brains are thinking and stuff. Yeah, that was really good. It's all right, James, don't worry. But listen, guys, thank you so much, okay? Honestly, I love that one because you're having to think. And we'll see you on Wednesday for football. Yeah, it's a football skills mastery session, okay?
Oh, I love them.
Well done, guys.
So see you on Wednesday.
Well done. Yeah.
See you on Wednesday.
Yeah, see you later. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. See you on